What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So I just got through looking at Catfish, the second episode that came on tonight, which was what is it, season 7, episode 12. Um, Nina and John. Stupid episode, bogus episode. I just don't know if these episodes are really real anymore because I'm just not understanding how this stuff happening. So Nina is very much stupid and kind of heartless, if you ask me. She has a husband named John. Okay, her and John been together on and off for some years now. They got married, they got divorced, then they got remarried in 2016. They have kids and everything, but in the midst of them being in the out of here. Sorry, that's my sister. In the midst of them being married, well, divorced, she was talking to some dude that she met on a little. She was like a webcam girl. Okay, first of all, I wouldn't be comfortable with. I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable doing no shit like that. But if that's what my partner was doing, and they was doing it before me, and nothing came out of it, meaning like you ain't gotta talk to nobody offline or you ain't gotta meet up with them. Fine, do what you gotta do, and if you're making a good amount of money and you putting it towards the household and all that stuff, do what you gotta do. But see, what Nina fucked up at with me was she was having like relationships. Oh, excuse me, like friendships and shit like that with these people that she meet online and all this stuff that's in this chat room. These are horny dudes that want you to take your top off, want you to play with yourself, want you to do this, want you to do that. And you out here giving your private number to them and texting them and developing relationships and shit. These motherfuckers could be crazy as hell. My sinuses are messing up, so if I keep breathing in deep, that's because um I gotta go steam my nose. It made no sense. Anyway, so I'm just like, when she said that she was giving and then called one of them her best friend. One dude named Miles was her best friend. Another dude named Midnight was another of her regulars. And then she said she had this guy that she went to school with who always stalked her and kind of like had a thing for her named Donnie. Okay. And so basically, when her and her husband got back together, she still was talking to this dude named John. Okay, John and put so much money in her account, over $22,000. You know, spending all this money. Like she was making some good money. She was making some good money. So I wouldn't dare tell her, the bitch, stop doing what you're doing and get you a regular job. No, girl, you continue to do what you're doing, and you can get a regular job in conjunction, but. That's a lot of money that's coming in. If you want to be a sucker and give me that money, go ahead, okay? But she started catching feelings for John, and she started talking to John in the midst of them being divorced from her husband. But then she got back with her husband, and they got remarried, and the relationship still continued. Her husband was like, she's like emotionally cheating on me, because there were many times where they were supposed to meet up, and dude never showed up. He was bragging about he has a lot of cars, he got so much money, he can travel here and there, and the husband is just over it. And he was almost like, you got to pick which one you want to be with. First of all, you got to see if this nigga is real, and you got to pick which one you going to be with. So they go through the whole information, trying to figure out if John's page is real, to find the Facebook page. It's only 2 pictures. They do the image search, couldn't find nobody with that image. On the Facebook, he has 29 friends. He has all these photos of him, not even of him, but of places that he supposedly been. And I said, why didn't y'all just Google search the fucking images? Because those images look like professionally done. You know what I'm saying? And then, especially the cars too. And so they didn't really get much from that. It looked like a fake page because you doing all this stuff and you showing this extravagant life, but with how the world is, a lot of people like that shit, so they gravitate toward that. But you only got 29 followers on your Facebook thing. Okay, unless you just made that page, yeah, it seems a little suspect. Then they checked into this dude Midnight. Okay, um mind you, she said she met the dude Miles before already. That was her best friend. I don't think they found anything on him, but she met him before and she was a little disappointed because he was on an oxygen tank and all this stuff. And that's all we gathered from her. Then they did the midnight dude. Didn't really find nothing, but then they found Donnie. Donnie, they said he looks like he sound like the recording, and it probably could be him. He also had cars in his profile and all that stuff. So basically, they showing all this information to Nina, and they in California. They're from Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. John is supposed to be from Ohio. He was supposed to meet. This is what got me one time. He was supposed to meet them in, I guess, wherever she's at in Arkansas, and he never showed up. But she claims that she was like, I'm gonna leave the door open. She left her car door unlocked, and then when she came out there, it was a note, like a letter or a card that says to Nina and a single rose in her front seat of her car. Bitch, that's some creepy ass shit. Okay? And you didn't feel weirded out by that? That irked me. That made me mad. I said, girl, you are putting your life in danger. She just don't realize that and just don't understand. Because things could have turned out so much worse than what it did. The dude that's supposed to be John, he agreed to meet up with Nina in the park. They met up. It was this big dude, and kind of find out his name was actually Miles. So it was the so-called best friend, the one that she met previously. She met him a few years ago, so she didn't recognize him because he said that he was 100 pounds heavy. I said, God damn. All right. I mean, I can't say that to die, but, he was 100 pounds heavier, and, he didn't want to. He felt some type of way because, she said, I guess she wouldn't date somebody he was too big or something like that. That's what he kind of implied. And his health was not good, so he was on oxygen because he was way too big. He said that she gave him the inspiration to lose weight. Said the doctor said he had to lose weight, which, of course, if you're that big, you do have to. We all working on ourselves, myself included. So basically, they talked about this one incident where he was supposed to meet her at a hotel, and he heard about the stuff that was going on in the hotel where the husband came down there. They got into a fight, some arguments. So he turned back around and he didn't want to burden her with revealing himself to her and saying that he's not really John, he's actually Miles and all this stuff. And it was a mess. Then we find out later when they met back up that she wasn't being 100% truthful, because they was like, why didn't you just tell him this? And why did you keep on pursuing her when you found out that she was back with her husband? He was like, because I didn't know it was that serious, because that's not what I was told. Basically, she told Neve and Max that she was with her husband because she was back in love with him and wanted to work things out. But basically what she told him, John, aka Miles, was that she went back with the husband so that she can get custody of the kids. That was it. And then, I guess she started to realize that she really did care for her husband and wanted to work things out. So it was just a bunch of lies. And I just didn't like the way that she was just sitting there like, okay, and so what? And then told Miles that she was just gonna, she made her decision already. She's gonna put her effort, 100% effort, into fixing things with her husband, focusing on her husband, which I can understand. It's just the way that she said it. She came off a little bit cold and insensitive. That man did a whole bunch for you, stupidly though, but you led him on. Y'all both was leading each other on like y'all can do something with each other. And she told him she didn't want no contact from him forever. And he said if that's what she want, I'm going to have to do it. It's going to hurt. It's going to be a while to get over it, but I will get over it. And I felt so bad for him in the moment. I did. Even though when he appeared out of nowhere, when they was at that park, he did look like the creepy dude that probably can do some damage and be stalking and hurt a motherfucker. But also when he was sitting on the chair, he did look that way, but then he also looked like a gentle little teddy bear, okay? And his feelings was visibly hurt, and I felt bad for him. You could tell he had self-esteem issues, especially with his weight, his size, and things of that such, and thinking probably nobody else would feel the same way for him, the way that she felt. Because honestly, If her husband wasn't in the way, I feel like she would have been with him. Because he was a little thickums too at one point. So, um, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't like the way that whole thing went down. And like I said, she better be glad it went down the way that it went down. And it seems like Miles, even though he lied about who he was, it seems like he's a good person in the sense that he could have really, he found where you lived at. You gave him this information. Okay, she told her other friend Midnight know a whole bunch of stuff about her. And I'm like, why are you sending all these strangers online all your information like this? That's what's bothering me. These people could have popped up and did something to you. You have children. You have young kids and you're giving out your information. And what if dude would have turned out to be a psycho, and when you rejected him, he could have made your life a living hell? Thank God he has not contacted her since the whole thing went down, and moved on. But you're playing with your life when you do stupid shit like that. She got lucky this time, okay? And I just hope she learned her lesson from this, because you taking a risk and you put your family at risk, okay? But that was basically it. Her and her husband back together. They say they better than ever. So it is what it is. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode. It was and I'll see y'all later. Peace.